Genuine Assholes here. We are doing a spoiler-heavy review of Batman v Superman. Spoiler-heavy. Agree, George?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen the movie yet,
I'm just gonna keep
shut this off.
I'm just gonna keep reiterating it because spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. If I posted this movie on my Facebook and if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this video. Stop it right here because we're gonna ruin everything. Agreed?
Well, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen 95%, except for the very end.
This is it. Like, right now, it stops right now. Okay. We saw the movie last night. I put up a brief, non-spoiler review. Today we're going to just kind of pick the movie apart. And this is definitely a movie that deserves picking apart because it's very massive. I have a little blueprint here to go off of because I don't want to make this as sloppy and as bloated as the movie is. You got the beginning that ties back into Man of Steel. You got a little, kind of recap of Batman's origin for people who, are living under a rock who don't know how Batman became Batman.
That was done really well.
I liked that all. I was with the movie at that point. And even after that, as the movie started going, I was with it. Do you agree with it?
First 40 minutes, I was saying, these reviews are nuts. This is a good movie.
Right. I definitely agree. I was telling you yesterday, I was trying to keep track of where the movie fell off, which I can't quite place it yet. I'd have to probably see the movie again, but somewhere along the lines it dropped off. Then there's the political stuff with Superman. Is he bad?
Yeah.
Is he not bad? I didn't mind it. I honestly didn't mind it. I think they did it a little too much. How did you feel about the political stuff?
I thought it was good. That one guy annoyed me. The guy with no legs.
The guy with the wheelchair.
That guy should have been cut.
Right. To the thing about the beginning, tying into Man of Steel, I liked it, but at the same time, it felt like cheap. Like when he's making phone calls to Wayne Tower or whatever that is, and he's kind of like, why is Bruce Wayne going to save these people?
Like while it's coming down.
That felt like very, a little too much, but I accepted it. It was, you're first seeing Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, so it was cool.
So it also contributed to his motivation, saying, I had friends that were...
Batman, he's got the most motivation in this movie.
He's got the only clear motivation in this movie.
You got the political stuff, you got Superman. Is Superman bad? Is Superman good? I didn't mind it. The problem is the movie really milks the shit out of that.
Yeah. It's like they really beat you over the head with that great power comes great responsibility stuff that you've seen 100 times before.
Now Lex Luthor. Now if we're going to talk about motives, I don't know what this guy's motives are. I don't know what the guy's
That's
motives
my
are.
biggest fault with this movie.
In some comics and stuff, Lex Luthor and Clark Kent have a past, and sometimes, and there was really no reason. It was just kind of like, okay, he's crazy.
All the backlash Jesse Eisenberg is getting, he's definitely. He's not my first choice, but he's not the reason this movie is the way it is.
For the Lex Luthor they wanted, I think he was good.
Yeah, like his snot-nosed, Lex Luthor snot-nosed kid. That's his bratty kid. That's what it is. Like the bratty kid that wants power. But
he's not bad though.
He's not bad.
If they went a different route, maybe an older Lex Luthor, I think they would have been better off. But for this movie, he's not the thing that kills this movie.
The things that kill it are you don't know why he's doing what he's doing. Batman, you get why he's doing this.
While we're on the subject of Batman killing people. I know we left the movies yesterday and we were like, did Batman kill people? But then I thought about it, he did kill people.
Oh yeah.
He had that one guy against the wall and he stabbed him.
Okay.
And then that other guy that he blew, he did kill people. So if you're a Batman, perfectionist, he slaughters people in this movie. I don't know how I felt
the
about
most
that.
killing that he did was in that dream that was very out of... Why was that? It was a cool scene, but why was it there?
Perfect segue, because that dream, like you just said, cool. Very cool visually. But whatever pacing the story had at that point, it kind of fucked it up. And honestly, I think that might be, thinking back on it, I think around that time was when the movie got really fucked up.
Jumpy. Pacing issues started around there.
Because the dream is I understand what they did with the dream, but it felt
like a very long dream.
Right.
A dream is, you wake up.
It was long. It started off with being in the mausoleum and visiting his parents, and that was cool. It was creepy, and that whole point when the guy was like, when Bruce was like in the cave and he woke up but he wasn't really up and he saw the fucking little tornado.
Yeah.
That was out of left field.
Just
that
the dream sequences in general.
That made the other dream sequence very justified.
That could have saved time in the movie too.
Mm-hmm. The cast though, talked about this yesterday, awesome. I think the cast was all awesome.
Oh yeah.
Ben Affleck, awesome Batman.
Nailed it, 100%.
Awesome Batman.
Buy into him.
He's kind of the same, but I don't know, he feels different, which is good. He feels fresh. He doesn't feel like, oh, okay, he's doing the same thing Christian Bale did or Michael Keaton.
I mean, I'm not going to jump and say my favorite Batman. If he gets his own movie and his focus on it, then, Christian Bale's just as great, but...
He's good. You don't really see... I can't really
good.
jump either because you don't see enough of him, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the movie's shared with Superman, even though this is more of a Batman movie, I feel like, you can't really judge it. Is he the best Batman? I think he's an awesome Batman.
Yeah.
I like this. I
was
would like
great.
to see him more.
All the stuff with him was great. Was very...
And everybody
bought
was
into it,
Everybody was good. The problem is, like, the motives, getting back to the motives, like...
Just, like, you... Not being cohesive, not making sense, not caring about what's going on.
Well, Superman, for instance. Superman was good. I love Henry Cavill, but, like, he didn't really have... He was kind of cardboard at this point, in my opinion.
One thing I'll say about Henry Cavill is he's a really good Superman. I like him, and I buy into him and Amy Adams, but their love story, whatever it is. I buy into that. I think their chemistry's great.
Well, they're good.
Together.
They work good. They're good actors.
That's a definite positive.
They definitely do.
You buy into them.
Everybody, as far as acting, was good. Gail Gadot, whatever the hell,
she was good.
She was good. She was, a little stale.
Honestly, our theater was dead. The only time that anyone that you heard a little all right, a little somewhat of an applause, whatever, was when she appeared at the end.
She was good, but she also wasn't really I don't know. Her acting isn't great. So I don't know how a solo Wonder Woman movie will be with just her. I don't know if I'll run out to go see that unless it gets rave reviews. Alfred, Jeremy Irons, Simon fucking Gruber, awesome as Alfred. They've never miscasted Alfred so far in all the series. I think he was good.
Yeah, he was really good.
Wasn't in a lot of it either, but he was good.
Probably underused.
Yeah,
but he was good.
He was a good Alfred too. Where he was hands on. He was kind of I heard somebody say the animated series like that. It was reminiscent of that. Back to that political shit, right? To jump back to there for a minute. This movie, I know it sells it with the title Batman v Superman, but you're talking about, you got a good hour of that movie. I guess that's just spent kind of
a lot of build up,
reiterating the same shit.
I
wouldn't even call it build up though. It is build up where it's Batman and Bruce Wayne, okay, but that whole the courtroom stuff, there was just too much of it.
Yeah.
And we were saying,
speaking of the pacing issues, you'll go from a courtroom to just jumps around,
right.
And jumps around,
and a dialogue heavy scene to another dialogue heavy scene. I didn't understand that, where you kind of have to have that balance of ooh, exciting, okay, get some story out of the way, ooh, exciting, and they didn't do that. They kind of did let me just do whatever the fuck I want to do. And
another scene that felt a little out of place, I don't know if you consider this a dream sequence or whatever, but when Superman and his father, Kevin Costner, I was
I know.
it's what?
I
does this need to be here?
Yeah. I understand their motivation for wanting to put something in there because, like I said, Superman's kind of stale in this movie. But, it doesn't, you're right, it doesn't fit. It's out of nowhere. And then you think, you don't even know if it's a flashback at first. I don't know what it was.
That's because these dream sequences or flashbacks, whatever you call them, were drawn out so long that you're is Kevin Costner, is he alive? Is he alive?
Something in that.
What's going on? Is he shoveling snow in Antarctica or whatever it is?
Well, I honestly can say 100% right now that I don't know, and I'm not afraid to say this, that if that was a flashback or if that was just him seeing a ghost. I think it was just
maybe seeing a ghost.
Right? I guess you're seeing a vision.
Whatever you want.
It doesn't make a difference because either way, it doesn't feed into the overall story. Then this thing bothered me, and I heard other people talk about this too. You have all this shit going on, and I'm sure you're gonna feel the same way. Where Batman and Superman obviously don't like each other, And then, like, Lex Luthor's doing whatever the hell he's doing with Zod's body, that he's carrying around Michael Shannon's body.
He's like,
movie. I don't even know what's going
Blood
on.
Brothers or something.
Michael Shannon's corpse is in this movie. Spoiler. And he's all over the place. But anyway, he's doing his own thing, and he's doing what he's doing. And then at the end of the movie, like, right before they fight, he's just like, swipes in and kind of takes credit for them fighting.
He sets it up
He makes it like he set up the whole thing. He didn't set up anything.
In this corner, you have Superman, go save your mother, go kill Batman. Like
he makes it like he planned this the whole time. Where all I saw him doing was carrying around General Zod's body and
I don't know,
and carrying around kryptonite. I didn't see anything
again
else.
Going back to why. Like I can't tell you why he wants them to fight each other. Or why he. I can't tell you what's besides him being a little lunatic.
He says kill Batman. He wants him to kill Batman, which I don't even understand because what does Lex Luthor have against Batman? I don't understand it. I can't.
Definitely.
That leads me to the thoughts of the 3-hour cut. Now, is the 3-hour? I'm scared of the 3-hour cut, but I'm really curious because is any of this answered? Does a 3-hour cut maybe establish things better? As much as this movie was bloated. Maybe fleshing out things would work better. I don't know. I'm very curious. I'm buying the Blu-ray when it comes out because I need to see that. I need to see what this 3-hour movie looks like because it's a 2.5-hour movie. Let's talk about the Justice League stuff. I'm just gonna keep repeating the Justice League stuff.
Shoehorn, forced down your throat.
Forced in this movie. I said yesterday that I literally laughed out loud, and he could vouch. When Aquaman is swimming in front of the screen and they're holding it on that shot, it felt like an eternity.
Have you ever seen
Jason Momoa? What's his name? Jason Momoa was looking into my eyes. It felt like an eternity.
Have you guys ever seen Zoolander? That part in Zoolander when he's like, when he's on the commercial and John Voight's looking in horror.
Like you brought that up.
Yes.
That's what it looked like. It looked like that.
This would definitely.
At first, when they showed it, and I knew what they were doing. You saw the email from Bruce Wayne, and he saw they opened the Flash's little video, and I was like, okay, the Flash. I was taking it like a piece at a time. Like, okay, it's not that bad. They're showing the Flash, and then they showed. Did they show Aquaman next? Yeah, and then once I think they showed him next.
Yeah.
Because then they showed Cyborg.
It looked like he couldn't swim.
He was just floating, but who's filming this?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know too. Who's filming this?
You know what I got a sense out of? That I'm not gonna pin on Zack Snyder. I feel like that felt like definitely overproduced. The studio saying this needs to be incorporated in this movie, and honestly, if it's forced, that's how it shows. It shows on film.
Well, it's funny because I have such as much as I'm bashing it, it's ridiculous the way they did it. It's probably honestly
not
3 minutes of the movie. No. So it's like if that's the way they had to throw them in, okay.
It's just a funny.
It's ridiculous.
It's just funny how it happens.
And the cyborg character, that other robotic guy. I don't know if you know who he is. That other guy.
Yeah, that was a bad
cyborg. And that thing went on forever as well.
That thing where he pops up and
showing, he's like,
that's his introduction to the Justice League. That's whatever the hell it is. That part was bad. I was very confused.
It's good. It's good that we're having this because I have a little more comic book knowledge than George does, so George is more the movie goer.
Just a fan of action.
We could compare how he felt about that. Now I know who Cyborg is. You're looking at that like, what is going on here?
Exactly.
What is good? So
it's just gonna hurt the movie in the long run.
It's gonna hurt the movie because most people don't know.
Because
most people don't know who Cyborg is. I should know. The Batman vs Superman fight, the one-on-one fight. I liked it.
One of the positives.
It's definitely one of the positives. Getting back to how we said that the Snyder shoots action good, the action's good, the fight is good. You said it.
The fight was really good, but for a title, Batman vs Superman,
to bring it up,
it was a little short, in my opinion. It was good. It was awesome while it lasted.
Yeah.
But then again, this goes back to this is how the fight. The fight starts basically. He kidnaps the mother, right? Where he gets the mother. And then Jesse Eisenberg wants Batman's head, whatever. And this is how the fight starts. Superman is asking Batman for help. Asking him for help.
I know.
Asking him for help. Batman comes off like a dick sometimes in this movie.
I guess Batman is just so set in his ways that he's going to try to kill Superman. Because he's obviously trying to murder him too, because he is like a kryptonite sphere.
Yeah,
A spear.
yeah.
Spear's a circle. A spear. He has a kryptonite spear, and he's gonna throw it through his heart or something. Because I don't know. But he's so set in his ways.
Again, the motivation not there. Like, well, asking Superman, Batman, help me. All right, I'm gonna kill you. Like,
well, then they kind of like Batman don't want to hear it, and then the reason they stop fighting because their mothers have the same name,
Pamela Martha Fokker.
Martha. And I thought that was like, for Batman, now you're showing a guy Batman that Superman's literally, like you're saying, he's literally trying to talk Batman, oh, we gotta stop this guy, which still can't understand this, but he's asking him to help, and then meanwhile, the second he finds out his mother's name is Martha.
We're cool.
Alright, you know what? We're cool, Superman.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Martha.
That cool. Doomsday, I don't even know what to say about Doomsday because I don't feel like horrible about him. I know he's also shoehorned in there because they obviously
everything in this movie is shoehorned in.
You're not gonna have them fight Lex Luthor, a human being, obviously. So he's gonna have to fight somebody.
I love that fight. To be honest with you, I really
it was good.
I thought it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he looked like shit. I thought the CGI, but Doomsday looked like a video game.
The design was just very generic too.
They just threw everything at this. You know,
I feel like that
it was a good fight. It was good.
I feel like that might have been added in at some point, like later in the script writing process.
Oh, and I love the part when they incorporate Anderson Cooper saying, "The work district is now clear." Thank you know. Good.
Yeah,
oh, okay. So there's gonna be no fatalities
meanwhile,
and a big monster, like, you know.
Meanwhile, like, you know, with all this stuff, it's like Zack Snyder did not learn from any mistakes too. Like, he goes out of his way now in this one to establish like, oh, there's repercussions of the shit that happened to Man of Steel, so don't hate me. And then he does the same thing again. Why is Batman going, I'm gonna lead him to Gotham? So he destroys Gotham? I don't understand. I'm gonna lead him to Gotham, he fucks up everything. I don't understand it. Like, why are you doing this again? Might as well bring up the music. The music's cool. I like the music.
Hans Zimmer never fails.
And Junkie XL, he did you know what he did too? I didn't even realize he did the Deadpool soundtrack, which was cool. And he did Mad Max Fury Road. Okay. So the both of them together, it's a cool soundtrack.
I wish the movie was as good as both of them.
Right. I like the Wonder Woman shit. Like, I like the music. It's cool. I like the whole Batman theme in the beginning. Superman dies in this movie. Now this is yet again perfect for me and George to talk about because he's got a different knowledge of the comics and stuff. Superman dies in the comics. I believe it's Doomsday that kills him. I don't remember, but he dies in the comics. He comes back. Comic book fans know that. George here doesn't know that.
I was confused.
Now,
I mean, when he died, in my heart, I didn't buy it for a minute.
Right, you're not gonna think they're actually
like,
Superman.
I was like, no way.
Regardless if
they rebooted this franchise 2 years ago to kill him off. Like, you know.
I just looked at it like there was a point when I was like, okay, this movie's probably gonna end with them three standing over Doomsday's corpse and whatever, celebrating, and then it just goes this total opposite way where Superman sacrifices himself, and I didn't feel it was necessary. I didn't feel like why you're taking so many steps forward towards the Justice League, even though they're kind of shaky and shitty or whatever. But now in the next movie in Justice League, you got to explain
backtrack
how Superman comes back to life, which wasn't necessary.
No.
Did they have to kill him off? I don't understand that choice.
And then the very last shot is the dirt rising. So they're basically
he's alive.
They're shitting on what they just did.
Like, it's so unnecessary. Yeah. It's like, who is that for? I don't understand because comic book fans, no Superman's come back. Most movie fans, no Superman's come back. But then there's going to be people that don't know. There's going to be people in that movie that
a casual fan of movies wants, Batman versus Superman, I want to watch it. You're going to leave like, he's dead.
They killed Superman, so now Batman is, Batman and Wonder Woman are starting, you're doing all this, DC, you're doing all this. This is like a call to DC. You're doing all this to establish the future movies. Why did you just kill Superman? Why did you just set yourself back?
Yeah.
Why are you confusing people? Keep them alive. Have them clinking beer glasses together at the end. Yeah. They just killed everybody.
Leave the theater.
You know?
No.
Okay, so
you don't leave this movie like, you leave this movie like kind of like.
I wanted the movie to end right after Doomsday.
I know. One of those, again, same problem, Man of Steel.
Same Man of Steel problem.
When is it ending? Is it over now? No. Over now? Over now? No.
And then even that, too, then they're showing, Clark Kent and Superman's, dual funerals. And then, in the middle of that, they jump to Lex Luthor and Batman, threatening him.
Shaving Lex Luthor's head.
And then they jump back to the funeral like, why are you doing this?
Editing bad.
Poorly told.
Put together like a screwed up puzzle.
And then I guess we'll get into our final thoughts now. From that, poorly edited, poorly directed. I don't hate Zack Snyder. I happen to like Watchmen. I happen to like Man of Steel. But this guy, I said it yesterday. I don't think he. I said it with the whole. There's rumors that he's not going to do Justice League and Warner Brothers going to get rid of him. They should get rid of him because the guy, he's not. They need somebody better. I don't know how to express it.
Pacing, like what you said, like a movie has the climax,
right.
And then this was.
And then that it was going like that, and then it would go back, and then it would go back to shit that was like
flashback.
Didn't we get over this?
Is this a flashback? No.
Handicapped guy in a wheelchair. He should have blew up the courtroom 20 minutes into that movie.
Granny's peach tea plays a big role in this movie.
He should have blew up the courtroom 20 minutes in. If you would have blew up the courtroom 20 minutes in, had the aftermath, had Batman fighting, maybe.
Definitely, there was a neater way to put this together.
Well, there should have been. I feel like there should have been maybe 2 Batman versus Superman fights, and maybe one of them should have been the beginning, one of them should have been towards the end.
Yeah,
they could have spread them out. Mm-hmm. Maybe Batman could have got his ass handed to him at one point, and then kind of like a whole Rocky 3 thing. I think that would have worked. But Zack Snyder, I don't know. I can't blame it. Listen, it's not all his fault. Obviously, he had pressure from the studio, like anybody does.
Had to be.
He has the writers that wrote the thing, but he looked at this movie and said like, "This is my cut." I feel like if that's how he looks at a movie, and even Man of Steel that drags on, he shouldn't really be doing these movies. He should go do something else. He's not a bad director.
No,
but
I think he's terrible. Oh, this is just
it's
just a product of too many. Honestly, to me, it's trying to play catch up with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like do your own thing. As much shit as you can. Tell the story of Batman and Superman. Mm-hmm. Leave it at that, and then don't try to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
They are trying to play catch up with Marvel, and now it's not their with the Justice League shit. It's only 3 minutes, whatever it is, but they fucked up the rest of the movie because of other choices they made. So they could have honestly did the whole catch up Marvel and be like, oh yeah, there's Aquaman, there's Flash, there's Cyborg, but they didn't do it right. They didn't do the rest of the movie right. Now what is the future of these DC movies going to be? Because they're obviously going to make Justice League. No matter what with these reviews. Zack Snyder, I don't think he should be back, and I'm going to call it now. In the next couple of weeks, maybe a month, you're going to hear the announcement that he's not on Justice League anymore. You're going to hear it because the studio is in their fucking right mind.
This got bashed.
This movie's getting ripped apart, and the studios in their right mind aren't going to say, okay, Man of Steel was mediocre for fans and critics. This one is hated, mostly. They're not going to say, hey, come back and do Justice League. They're going to get somebody else. It's the smarter decision. That's another thing. Am I excited for any of the other movies now? I gotta see what happens with a Wonder Woman movie because I don't know if I'm gonna run out and go see a Wonder Woman movie.
I don't think anyway I would go run out and see that.
I'm not really.
Although she was one of the better parts of it.
She was one of the better parts.
But
like I said, she doesn't also have enough screen time.
No,
you really know. Yeah. She's kind of because there's those points that everybody brought up that her acting kind of shit's a little. And you don't see enough of her acting. Could she hold the movie by herself? You got to remember that because that's going to be a 2-hour movie of her being the main star.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
Honestly,
I don't know. That's a question.
I don't
know.
I'm a comic book fan. I don't really care about Aquaman. I don't care about Flash too much.
Nah.
Those
keep to Netflix. Keep to the Channel 11 shows.
I'll make.
You don't gotta make everything a.
I want to see a Justice League movie done right. But they gotta do something. They gotta really work their asses off to get a good story going. Because now look, you couldn't make a great movie with Batman, Superman, with Wonder Woman. How are you gonna make a great movie with all these other people? It's gonna be even harder.
Yeah.
Batman movie, I'm excited for.
Yeah, you're excited for it because rumors have it Ben Affleck is going to direct it,
right?
And his track record directing has been great.
And he's
so
good
far.
as Batman, and you get Jeremy Irons in there again. And I'm hearing too it might be a prequel. Maybe you see some Robin shit in there. Maybe it'll be after whatever it is.
And the best part about this movie, hands down, everyone will tell you, is Ben Affleck is Batman.
Right, and it is. You know what? It wasn't a complete bust because it did establish the universe somewhat. They could do it. They could come back from it.
Listen, as much as it sounds like we're really bashing this movie,
Yeah.
rightfully so, I watched the majority of this movie, smile on my face because it's happening, it's fun.
Yeah.
But again, you not really invested, but you're watching, you're like, oh, this is badass,
I was trying to explain it yesterday because I felt so confused after I got out of the movie theater.
Oh yeah,
but like,
a lot to take in.
It's not. I can't say it was boring. It's not
No
boring,
way.
but it felt like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises does not feel like it's pushing 3 hours. This movie feels like 2.5 hours, and that's the problem. It's you lose your interest a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was bored. I wasn't sitting there going moping at any time, but I was kind of being like, what are they doing here? I'm not in the story.
Yeah.
You want to be in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just watching it. You're like, oh, it's cool. It looks cool.
No.
But you're not really rooting. You're not really, cheering.
Visually, it's cool. It's cool.
Visually, no one's gonna not
now,
his visual.
We'll give our numbers. I mean, thinking back on it today, I definitely, like yesterday, I was, like I said, very confused when I left the theater. Even when I filmed my little video, I felt very confused. I didn't know how. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I'm gonna stay with the 3 out of 5 stars today, but I have been thinking about the good moments I like, particularly the Batman stuff, and I do like that stuff. What did you think of it?
I'll probably give it a 3, honestly, too, because I know this review, we're being very critical of it.
We're being critical, but we're also being generous.
But as fans, it was fun to see, and it was fun to watch. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't really make any sense. I understand the backlash, believe me.
Yeah, no, well, that's the thing too. When people bash it,
you can't.
I support them entirely because I see exactly what they're talking about. I'm looking past a lot of shit. I gotta see it again because I fucking saw Spider-Man 3 I think 3 times before it really hit me how I felt about that movie, because when you first see a movie too, your expectations blind you, and you're sitting there and you're kind of processing everything.
Who knows, if we see it again, we may even
find
more shit, or we may like it even more.
I'm curious to see if I drop, if I stay the same, or if I go up. Because who knows, you might look, you're going to look past shit too the second time because you're going to know what the end result is.
Yeah, exactly. So you may even like the ending. You go, oh, awesome,
I'm just glad, we both love Star Wars, and I'm glad that movie came out this year because that took the hype away from this one. Because if I was really hyped for this one, I would have been really let down.
But what Star Wars shows you is a lot of characters, a lot of moving pieces, but put together like this.
Yeah.
Unlike this, was just, why is this happening? Why? I still don't know why they were fighting. Like, it's, but it's not. It doesn't justify it to me anyway.
It's very confusing. But yeah,
I liked this. I liked it as much as we. As much as we're bashing it, I liked it.
As much as we rip it apart, and I'll support anybody who gives it a fucking 1. What was that? I'll give who gives it a 1, but we liked it. I mean, I guess we're recommending it. I tried to say, like, do I recommend it? I recommend it. I recommend it as a fan.
If you're a fan, watch it.
But I don't know.
I'm not gonna show my father. Oh, you gotta watch this.
And kids, I'll bring it up too. If you have kids, if you think about going with like your nephew, your son, don't go with your son or something, but your little kid, because it does not play well for them. It's not a fun movie. It's not. That's the problem. We were saying yesterday. Like, I don't know how I feel about this movie because do I want to rewatch it? I want to rewatch it to see how I feel.
I definitely want to watch it again.
I want to rewatch it to see how I feel, but like I don't know if I want to rewatch it to relive. Like Star Wars, I liked the newest one.
Oh, I love every minute of it.
I want to rewatch it because it's fun.
3 out of 5. Yeah.
Go see it. Check your expectations. Don't. I hope you saw it already if you're watching this review. So, but recommending. I guess I could recommend going to see it if you're a Batman fan, if you're a Superman fan, checking it out. We will see. Now it's going to play out to, let's see how it does box office wise with all the bad reviews. And then from there, we'll see what happens with Justice League. Because I don't think they're going to scrap anything. I really don't think. I think they're so invested now.
I don't think it was, at the same time, I don't think this was that terrible to scrap anything.
No, there is moments that it establishes stuff for the future. But, like, what are we going to keep doing? We keep doing half-ass movies that, that's the thing, too. It's like, let's make a good movie.
Next is what, Suicide Squad?
Next Suicide Squad.
David Ayer.
I'm scared of that one, too, honestly. Because I was more scared of that than Batman vs. Superman, but...
David Ayer's got some
fury
I like.
Yeah, those trailers aren't doing it justice. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Alright, yeah, so that's our Batman v Superman spoiler review. Let us know what you guys think. Comment below, like, tell us to go fuck ourselves. Check out our other videos and subscribe.
Yep.